Hi there, Jeremy here from GetInTheMix.com, and I'm with
James.
Thanks for watching. We're in sunny California at the moment at the NAMM 2020 exhibition. No, we're not.
Really?
I can't back that up.
You got me hopes up for a second.
Yeah,
there.
that's it. Well, some of our competitors are sunning it in California at the moment at NAMM. We're in our Get in the Mix HQ in Colchester, but we're not sad about it.
No,
we're not sad.
I love being at Get in the Mix.
We do, we love it. And one of the reasons is we've got here the Electro-Voice Evolve 30s, which are really, really good. We've got the 50 here as well, haven't we?
Of course, the Evolve 50, which you may have seen before, it's been out for a little bit, and the Evolve 30M, the brand new speaker from Electro-Voice. Now, these are both column array speakers. We can see here, this is a slightly larger of the two. We've got a 12-inch bass bin on this. And remind me of the driver size on these ones, Jeremy?
Yeah, with these ones, they're 3.5, and there's 8 of them in there.
8 of them.
And the new 30M is 6, and they're 2.8.
2.8,
each.
and the first thing that you might notice is unusual and unlike some of the other column array speakers you see on the market, that we have this very kind of straight and then kind of, what would you call this?
Yeah.
Sloped design?
Yeah, it is. And they just look so
nice.
They
do. I mean, what
compared to the other ones we do, I like these. I have to say, I'm not just saying. Yeah.
Could be a gun from Halo.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But they're not heavy.
Something from Doom.
But as you can see with the design, the quality is really good. Now, I don't know if you realise, but Electro-Voice is owned by Bosch. And I'm not sure whether it's part of the fact that Bosch have got such a big amount of money. They put a lot of R&D, research and development into these speakers.
One of the main things going is that they've got wooden cabs on these ones,
15 mil ply. And it's
acoustically ideal
It's just the whole finish of them is really nice. I like the style. I think a lot has gone into these.
One thing to note about the style here, we spoke about the flat and then slope design.
Yeah.
What this gives us is a 120-degree dispersion of sound. Now, what does that mean in real terms? Okay. Well, that means that in the dance floor, I'm partying around. It's going to get a great, field of sound. It's going to be perfect here. But also, people in the crowd maybe sitting down at a table to the side are also going to get a bit of that sound. It's going to travel down and then, of course, bounce off the floors and hit a further.
Yeah, and not to say if you've got someone, you're in a hall and you just say you're not a DJ and you're a performer or something, and you just want one of these in the corner of a room. That 120 degree means it will fill the room nicely, even one sat in a corner with that 120 degree. So, and of course, 2 with the stereo for DJs.
And that's a very unique design from the guys at Electro-Voice.
Yeah.
That's really great. So one of the main things, especially in the 30M is the new one. This is what we're here to look at today.
Yeah.
And I think one of the main features that we've been asked so much about is the built-in mixer capabilities. Now it's got a full 8-channel digital mixer with full studio grade quality effects, and here's the kicker, the most important bit about it is all fully controllable from the Electro-Voice Quick Smart.
Yeah, that's it.
We almost got it wrong there for a second.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean? What does it mean? Okay, well, if you're a DJ, I've got a couple of these set up at the side of me, my booth. I'm DJing away. It means that I've got some control over just the standard capabilities of the speaker. So treble, bass,
EQ.
mid, output levels, input levels. And again, practically, what does that mean? Well, if I'm doing an event where it's, it's a wedding and it starts with lots of live music to begin in, lots of older music that might not be so sub-heavy, I can have the sub turned down a little bit and it can be really nice, and I don't have to leave my booth to do that. I don't have to do it. I don't have to stop focusing on music just a little.
Yeah.
That's done.
But like you say, you can also go out into the crowd to see what it sounds like for them.
Well, yeah, so that's the other side. That's what the other side of it. So from a DJ perspective, that's great. But also then when it gets a little bit later in the evening, grandma's gone to bed, aunties and uncles are getting a bit looser, 90s drum and bass and garage music might start coming up, we can boost that sub, and we haven't had to kind of come behind the speakers, fumble around, we haven't had to make any changes. That's a direct change just from the phone for 2 seconds. But as Jeremy just mentioned there 2 seconds ago, the other amazing feature of that is more from a live sound perspective. So perhaps you're a budding engineer or even a full-time engineer that's been doing it for a while. As you know, front of house is not always conveniently located, especially in the smaller venues. If we go into a small hall or a wedding venue, as you say, they're not going to have a front of house at the back like you do at a festival. And for those that don't know, the front of house is where the engineers sit to gauge what everyone else is listening to make adjustments so that the crowd get the best experience. Now, what that portable app means is that you can literally, we've got it running on the phone here. We have the app here. What does that mean? It means that we can go into the crowd with the app. It can be on an iPad, can be on your phone.
Yeah, it does Android and
exactly. so it's cross-compatible, it's not limiting anyone to
and it will do the iPad, and it will do, it's one of the only ones, because a lot of them won't do the big tablets, will they?
Sometimes, so it's got Android, you can have Android tablets, which covers a lot of things like, you know, Chrome things, Chrome tablets, and the majority of things that aren't Apple are going to be running an Android system of some kind, and then you've got your iOS. What that means is I'm going to be able to walk into the crowd, we're going to then turn to the speakers, we're going to be able to listen to exactly what the crowd are listening to, and make changes dependent on that. Now that, for any engineer, is
definitely
invaluable. I mean, we all like making our jobs easier. No one wants to make a job harder than it needs to be, and having that customizability to move around the room and hear where in the room it may, and make changes.
And you've used that app a bit, haven't you, as well now with the Electro-Voice?
So I mean, I think right now
it's a good app. Some apps are all right, but this is pretty impressive.
The way it works, and you'll be able to see a screen capture on the screen here. But you know, we've got very simple control from the main offset. We've got a sub level, a bass, a mid, and a treble, where I can make changes to the EQ of the speaker. But also a main volume out, which we won't push too hard now because we're recording, of course. But then we can go further into that, and we can get into the mixer section, whereby each of our inputs, we mentioned there was 8 inputs on the back there, they're all combi jack inputs or Bluetooth for 7 and 8. And what means for each channel we can go into that, we can affect compression levels, effects, whether they're echoes, reverbs, choruses, and again, your standard free band EQ, and your auxiliary in and outs, and your levels. So you've got full customizability from this app, and it's also on the go, on the fly. There's no need to get bogged down with a proper mixer. There's no need to spend half your time behind the speaker adjusting things. You've got everything on the fly.
It's a perfect solution, isn't it? It really is. I mean, to make it easier for, you know, the whole thing is easy, isn't it? The app's easy, the thing's easy to set up.
It's easy to put around. Think about how small this, once you've taken that out, it weighs like nothing.
Well, that's 16 kilos, this part. These weigh about 2.7 kilos. It's something really crazy, you know. I mean, they're as light as a feather. They all just clip into each other. There's no wiring to be done. The whole thing is just easy. You could set up in literally minutes, couldn't you, with this?
Do we know what the like proper loudness, the SPL is?
123.
123
dB.
decibels, so more than loud enough for the majority of.
It's not quite as much as this one, but you would expect it because of the 12-inch in that
and
one.
The extra drivers.
But it's not a lot in it. There's not actually a lot. They're both 1,000 watt, aren't they? 500 watt sub and 500 to the tops, and that's exactly the same on this one.
Nice and evenly dispersed there as well. You're not going to have too much high end and not enough sub, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's pretty well thought of, and I know we can't demo him in here, of course, because you know it wouldn't do him justice. But we have we have all the line array systems, you know, around this price range and higher and lower. And I have to say, and I'm not just saying it, these do sound absolutely amazing.
They're really
these
up there,
30s, when the 30s came out, I thought, oh, here we go, a little sub, you know, a little line array, another little line array. But when we heard them, they are pretty good. Good bass response, haven't they?
They're really tight as well, really tight on the low end.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that you always get with a high quality. There are some column arrays out there that are made to be cheap and cheerful, and there is a market for that.
Some of them are really wobbly as well.
Yeah, they compromise in sound, and you get a bit wobbly. But with these, they're really sturdy, they're really portable, and they sound great. They've got the crisp on top, and they've got the kind of to go with the low end. So when you buy one of these, what do you get in the box? I've heard something about a backpack, is that right?
Now basically these are the options for the 30M. So basically what it comes with is, of course, the sub. It comes with these two, which are like the satellite poles that just clip together, and then you get your line array speaker system. What you also get in there, with no extra cost, is a backpack bag. Now that is pretty good, this bag, because you can either use it as a carrying bag, or of course, as I'll demonstrate,
so you're going to style it out for us, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'll style it out for you. Look, see, you put it on your back like this, and then what will happen is James will demonstrate.
Should we see? So then we're just going to slot some bits in the back here. So
yeah, that's it.
Mind you, Jeremy, we're literally going to slide that down into the bag.
So the line array goes down into the middle of the bag, and then these two go either side. There's plenty of room for cables as well.
Other pole, look how easy that is. I mean, that is the world's quickest loadout. It's done in 10 seconds. Yeah. And then we can send Jeremy to the car.
Yeah.
That's it.
Job
load out. I'll grab the
sub.
And
to be honest with you, right, I've got this whole thing on my back. Well, not the whole thing. I haven't got the sub on my back, of course.
You balance it on your head, though.
I tell you what, it's not heavy. It's not heavy at all.
And it's a nice quality bag as well.
It's not going to rip. It's
not reliant on zips that are coming.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I always say about bags, are relying on zips. Zips are the first thing to go.
Exactly.
Velcro, you've not got that problem.
So basically, the bag, I think, is...
Can I help you off there, Jeremy?
Yeah, because there goes the microphone.
I got it.
So the bag comes with it. What there also is an option, is that there's an optional padded cover for the sub, which is around about the £50. and you'll see it on our website. Also, there is a generic bag for both of them, you can use for either one, which has got wheels on it and also a telescopic handle. So it's a trolley bag for the sub. Now they're not that heavy, so it's £200-ish for the trolley one, which is fine. But the padded bag, which is obviously going to have a thing for the handle. Neither of these two are that heavy. That's only 16 kilos, so you know you've got a choice there. But
you could do loading in one hand with these. You can have a backpack on your front, a backpack on your bag, a sub in each hand, and you could get in one trip.
Yeah, you could. And yeah, you got the backpack on. You're going in that with everything in one trip. It's just genius.
Ideal.
I like
and
it.
even you mentioned about the wheel bag for the subs. That's invaluable when you've got some places you load in aren't easily accessible. You've got slopes, you've got things, you know, and having the fact that you can just push it along. Does half the work for you. You're not putting your back out loading 18-inch subs into the venue. You know, you're going to do yourself a bit of a favour. You're going to do yourself some justice. And the speakers.
I mean, I don't know what you think. I mean, obviously we sell a hell of a lot of subs with the 12s or 15-inch tops and the 12 and 15 subs, you know, the traditional mobile DJ setup. These are becoming more and more popular. And for some reason, I mean, they're getting better and better, aren't they, the more the time goes on. And I don't know what you think, and of course, leave a comment. I mean, if you can leave comments below, you know, would be great. But I think it's going to be the future. I mean, I think that, you know, if we look back in like 5 years' time, these other type of speakers for your subs, are they going to be out of date? Is it all going to be these columns line arrays? I think they look nicer.
They do. The thing is, it's a compromise. You know, you lose a little bit of volume.
Yeah, you do.
You know, but it's the compromise, and that's for the added portability. You know, the fact is, some of these column arrays, you literally slip your top in the back and you just carry a sub. It's for smaller venues. You know, the thing is, big 15-inch speakers, you know, you're never going to sacrifice those out in a large venue that's installed. You're never going to. But for a mobile DJ that's going around doing gigs at weddings, you're doing gigs at parties, you're doing gigs at scout huts, you're doing gigs all here, there, and everywhere.
For this, there's lots of other uses. You've got performers, you've got all sorts of people, you know, magicians, you know, everyone who uses a microphone and audio sources would want this.
And that's one of the great things about the DSP on the back. We've touched on it a few times. You've got all this interchangeable EQ settings at the push of a button.
And is there 30? Is it on there 30? I'm trying to think around.
I think it's got a 3-band EQ, which can be obviously various different iterations of what you're using.
Controller or the app.
You've then got a 7-band graphic EQ, so for your mix out, so your full range, so you can really start kind of giving it a little bit of high end, taking away a little bit of bass, notch here, peak here, whatever it might be, to really adjust that sound. But the great thing about this, it does have some presets in there. You've got things like club, live, music, and speech. You know, speech is going to take that sub out because, you know, when I'm doing a speech, you're passing the mic to the groove for the speech, he doesn't need a bunch of sub bass in his voice, so you're going to pop it onto speech and it's going to nice and even that voice out. But then it's time for club dance time music where we press club and we go straight in for a full range sound with a full sub and a full top.
And it can all be done on the back. It's got LCD display on the back with your toggle.
So when your phone dies, you're not in the
It's just going to be, I think a lot of people are just going to use that app, to be fair. Because it's just so easy.
I mean, it's the future. I mean, having worked on gigs, it's been that way for digital desks in the live sound world for a while now. It's very invaluable. For instance, I was working at Latitude a few years ago, and their stage, the lake stage, has no front of house. It's just at the side. It's not ideal because you do need to hear them, so you can come into the crowd, you can make those changes, and then you can come back to your little cubby hole where no one can see you and hide away again.
So the Bluetooth aspect of this is not just for the connectivity for the app, but it's also for streaming, isn't it?
That's exactly it. So you've got your 2 channels, 7 and 8 channels are dedicated to Bluetooth. They can also Bluetooth to the other units. So you've got up to 6 units that these connect to. So for most of you, you're going to be using 2. That's as limit. But for instance, in a larger venue, you might have delay lines where you're going to have one and then one down the side, and to cover a further spread. And with that, you're going to be able to connect up to 6 of them up through one signal coming from one phone into that, and then into all the other speakers for your full left, stereo right, stereo image. So it's really ideal. I think we've covered most of the bases there.
I think we have. One of the things I do love about these, I know it's just the look of it, but the build quality feel and everything on these is just so nice compared to a lot of the other ones we keep in stock. They've really done a good job.
They have indeed. I mean, Electro-Voice, I can never fault them.
No, they've always been really good.
Yeah, I mean, when we work, you know, we're going to live sound venues, you know, we're using Martin audios and function ones for your big rigs, and then for the second rigs, we've always got Electro-Voice there, and it always does us strong, it always packing through. Packs a punch, is a bit more portable, and you know, it does really overall great workmanship, great quality, great sound. It's just got it all there in that package.
Also, these both come in white or black as well, so you can have white, which is quite nice sometimes for weddings. You know, if you're doing wedding discos and things, it's nice to have it white, so they come in white or black.
I think that's it.
I think it is, yeah.
So thank you very much for listening, guys.
Thank you very much.
As always, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, chuck us a comment in the comment section and be sure to subscribe. And as always, get in the mix.
And come down to Get in the Mix to listen to him.